7 News presents Heart of the North Country, a celebration of what makes our community great. Sponsored locally in part by Hemlock Haven and East Road Adult Home.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Mackenzie Pyatt.
And I'm Jeff Cole. We are at the beautiful Honeyville Manor in Adams Center. And over the next half hour, we are going to be talking about the people and things that make our community great, the heart of the North Country.
We'll start with an inspirational young girl from Henderson with a passion for saving lives. We first met Bryn Richmond in February. Here's Garrett Dombluski with her story.
This is Comanche. He is 5, and he is another one that was rescued from slaughter.
Bryn Richmond was just 7 years old when she convinced her mom and dad to start rescuing horses.
Her compassion was crazy, the tears, determination, and she didn't let it go.
8 years later, Bryn has brought 8 rescue horses from bad homes and slaughterhouses to her family's farm in Henderson. There are no horse slaughterhouses left in the U.S., but according to the ASPCA, around 100,000 horses are sent to Canada and Mexico for slaughter every year. Bryn can't save all of them, but she gives everything she has to the ones she can.
I put my heart and soul into it, everything I got. I just hate seeing them abused. They don't deserve it. They've never had a chance.
For the last year, Bryn's had help from her friend Kylie, the latest rescue, saving 9 horses in Arkansas from being sent to slaughter.
And Bryn's mom couldn't be prouder of her daughter's dedication to rescuing horses just like Huey.
I don't know how she pulled off, a 15-year-old just pulled off a rescue of 9 horses from Arkansas.
A GoFundMe page is up to raise $3,000 for transportation costs, all to help a young woman called to save as many horses as she can.
Back in 1985, U.S. Army officials reactivated the 10th Mound Division at Fort Drum. And since then, you could call it the backbone of the North Country.
In 2017, the men and women of the 10th continued their tradition of excellence with deployments to both Afghanistan and South Korea. Most recently, Fort Drum has celebrated the return of soldiers and aviators from overseas deployments. Our soldiers are known for their skills on the battlefield, but one soldier's skills on the football field landed him an NFL contract.
Yeah, former Fort Drum soldier and current Pittsburgh Steelers offensive lineman Alejandro Villanueva returned to Post this year to share his love of the game. Michael Lafredo has that story.
It's my honor and my privilege to introduce a great American hero.
It was a not-so-subtle entrance for a humble man.
Very nostalgic to be here in the North Country region.
Pittsburgh Steelers offensive lineman Alejandro Villanueva was back on Fort Drum this Monday, the base where he once served, holding a football clinic for the sons and daughters of Fort Drum soldiers.
The Sackett's Harbor and the Watertown places that I used to hang out of, still here, and so it brings a lot of memories.
Villanueva graduated from the United States Military Academy as a possible NFL draft pick. After deploying to Afghanistan several times between 2010 and 2014, he received many accolades, including a Bronze Star for valor. But his dream on the football field wasn't yet fulfilled. Villanueva set his eyes on the NFL.
You can push me off the ball? Huh?
In 2016, Villanueva was ranked as the 23rd best offensive lineman in pro football. But he says days like this are special for him as he gives back to his military roots.
I'm really excited for you guys to have this opportunity. I didn't learn to play football until I was in high school, so you guys are going to be that much far ahead of the curve in terms of your goals and dreams of making it to the NFL.
But the fact that he served for our country, and now it feels like I can do something too.
I'm just very thankful. I'm very thankful that people are serving our country the way they do and setting the standard like 10th Mound Division.
It's a name synonymous with big sporting events, the Goodyear Blimp. This summer, the iconic airship made a stop just outside of Watertown, a spectacle that Aaron Bischoff found out pulled in the crowds.
It's called the Wingfoot 2. It's Goodyear's newest and largest aircraft flying, and its landing at Watertown International Airport drew a crowd of curious spectators.
I saw it on my way home over on the other road, so I said, oh, I gotta go see what they're doing.
The blimp is 246 by 50 feet, almost the size of a football field. Watertown International got a call Tuesday night that the blimp would be landing Wednesday evening.
We worked all day today. Our maintenance crews and airport crews worked on mowing the grass and and keeping things tidy.
The blimp is stopping on its way to Ottawa for Canada's 150th anniversary celebration. The Goodyear blimps are mainly used for capturing live aerial views, which is what Wingfoot 2 will be doing over the festivities and fireworks in Ottawa this weekend. As you can imagine, it takes a lot of people to land an aircraft this big. 18 people were a part of this ground crew.
Our ground support equipment that you see going up right back here is designed to hold the airship on the ground through about a Category 1 hurricane wind. And the truck, in order to do that, has to weigh about 64,000 pounds.
A number of cars were parked alongside Route 12F to get a glimpse at the iconic blimp landing, and it was something people say they had to stop and check out.
I thought it was cool.
Oh, it was fantastic. It's really an experience.
No matter the time of year, the North Country has plenty to see and do.
Coming up, we will take a look at unique events that bring our communities together and promise plenty of fun.
And later, we'll meet a birthday boy with a big wish, not for toys, but to help families in need. You're watching 7 News, the heart of the North Country. Welcome back. Summer, spring, winter, and fall, communities in the North Country know how to bring people together. All the sights to see and things to do get right to the heart of the North Country. In the river village of Clayton, something's in the air.
Stand by.
Pumpkins flying into the St. Lawrence River. It's the Pumpkin Chunkin', an event that draws thousands where teams build catapults or trebuchets to launch those gourds as far as possible. Come summertime, the dogs get their day with the annual Seaway Splash. Every summer, the North Country shows off its agricultural chops with county fairs in Jefferson, Lewis, and St. Lawrence counties. Animal exhibits, rides, and great food are all staples, but there are plenty of surprises too. Just ask Mel Bustler.
Oh my goodness! You're levitating! I'm a kid at heart, that's why I love fairs. Now, I met a guy at the Jefferson County Fair who levitates. Oh no. At the St. Lawrence County Fair, I met a guy who ate fire. He needed Rolaids.
Summer fun marches on in the Maple City with the historic Seaway Festival Parade. Head to Lowville, and it's an event unlike anything else in the country.
It's a quirky thing to be known for, but that's what puts people on the map.
It's the Cream Cheese Festival, celebrating the village's most notable employer, Kraft Heinz. The village downtown blocked off so thousands of visitors can enjoy one of Lowville's tastiest exports.
Well, you know, it's fairly new to me because I grew up in Lowville and we did not have the Cream Cheese Festival. But I did work at Kraft when I was growing up. The streets are closed off, filled with thousands of people who travel from all over the North Country and even further just coming home for it.
And there's no question, the North Country is a colorful place.
Come on now!
We celebrate the pirate's life, go green for St. Patrick's Day, honor the area's French roots, and get a real kick racing thousands of rubber ducks. And of course, when it comes to winter, we're not scared to dive right in. There really is so much to see in the North Country.
And this year, a former North Country high schooler is being seen by millions of people worldwide. And Patrick Malowski tells us how his journey to stardom included a stop at Carthage.
The winner of the VMA
Best New Artist
is, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous.
I hope it's the King of the North.
That's former Carthage student Khalid Robinson walking to the stage at MTV's VMA Sunday night. At just 19 years old, Khalid's on the national stage as this year's Best New Artist.
Oh, no way. This is crazy. This is ridiculous.
It's actually not that ridiculous.
Send me your location, let's focus on communicating.
Khalid's single called Location has over 110 million views on YouTube, which has helped launch his short but extremely successful career. And just a few years ago, Khalid was sitting here in these seats in the Carthage High School music room singing with the bass and tenor sections.
location song is very, very catchy, and everybody kind of picks up on that one, knows that one quite well.
That's Marvin Zaire, one of Khalid's choir teachers when he was at Carthage for a few years. Khalid, whose family was here for Fort Drum, sang in multiple groups at the school from 2012 to 2015.
He could sing tenor or bass, so I kind of put him where he could help us out the most. It's kind of a surprise and yet kind of cool at the same time, because somebody you were sitting next to in chorus is now up there in the limelight, and you're doing quite well.
Khalid moved to El Paso, Texas before his senior year, but left behind a path showing a dream can become a reality.
Before I leave, this is the start of something great. I love you guys. Peace out.
Our next two stories highlight a couple of very special birthdays.
And we'll begin with the young boy we met earlier this year. And as Jeff Nelson found out, his birthday wish was to give.
Ethan Rice just turned 11. And while most kids would be opening their presents,
I can't believe this.
Ethan's hard at work, delivering hundreds of dollars in food to the pantry at St. Paul's Church.
I was inspired by one of my friends to do all this. Instead of donating food for their birthday, they donated their presents. There are more people without food and stuff in the world, and I thought I might as well help out with that.
Box by box, Ethan and his family are unloading a minivan full of food, and it's piling up. All this should feed hungry people in the community for weeks.
So amazing. Great.
That one's heavy. Don't grab that.
Yes, it is.
Ethan got plenty of help once his mom mentioned his food drive on Facebook. His classmates pitched in, along with the rest of the town.
The donations we've received is just, it's amazing.
I feel really proud of myself for being capable of being able to do all this.
You're a wonderful little guy.
And at the end of the night, a birthday card for the birthday boy, a kid who's learned at a young age that sometimes the best gift is to give.
Well, you'd like to think, Mackenzie, when you reach the age of 86, that you've earned a little rest and relaxation.
But that's not the case for one woman in Harrisville. Amanda Corna introduces us to Virginia Landcore, a woman who brightens shoppers' days at a local grocery store, and her life motto is never slow down.
Virginia Landcore, or better known as Verge, has been working at Chuck's Market in the village of Harrisville since 1972. That's 45 years. She enjoys working so much, she's even doing it on her 86th birthday.
I love it. The people, my bosses, everybody.
Landcore works 4 days a week and does a little bit of everything at the market. She stocks shelves, works in the meat department, and works the cash register.
Thank you.
And in 45 years, she's had to adjust to some changes.
When I started, we had the hand registers, you know, but now we've got the computers.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's all right when they work.
And Landcore's boss says she's a model employee and a joy to work with.
She comes in a half hour early every day that she's scheduled. Never complains, and she's great to be around. Great sense of humor, makes us laugh every day.
Fowler says he wouldn't be surprised if Landcore worked at the market until she was 100. We're not too sure about that, but she says she's not stopping just yet.
Gotta keep moving. If you sit, you're done. You're done if you sit.
And on her 86th birthday, Landcore got to take a short break for a piece of cake with her co-workers. But she was quickly back to doing what she loves, working.
And there's still plenty more ahead on Heart of the North Country.
We'll tell you how North Country neighborhoods came together this summer when floodwaters threatened the shores of Lake Ontario and the St. Lawrence River.
And a remarkable story about a girl who overcame challenges to cheer with her squad in Massena.
Welcome back. When this summer's high water levels caused damaging floods, North Country communities sprang into action.
It was neighbor helping neighbor, as Aaron Bischoff discovered back in early August.
The residents of Sawyers Bay near Henderson know what it means to be a good neighbor.
We got up this morning and we just started going down the shore, and all of a sudden everybody came out to help everybody else, and that's what we do down here.
Residents say 8 to 9 foot waves came crashing along the shoreline of Sawyers Bay Saturday, ripping up the Lynx family's deck. Sunday afternoon, with shovels, rakes, and tractors, dozens of neighbors came to clean up what was left, along with the rocks and plastic that washed up on the shore. Neighbors also helped clean up 90-year-old Betty Smith's yard next door. She's lived there for more than 50 years.
I've never seen it like this.
Up the shoreline at Morges Beach in Sackett's Harbor, another group of neighbors was removing pile after pile of seaweed that had washed up on their lawns. They say they had over 20-mile-per-hour winds on Saturday, the highest they say they've had this season.
The waves were coming over the wall for 12 hours, and Mother Nature gave us everything that was in that lake. They just put it on your lawn, so the next day is a cleanup day.
But this is nothing new. Neighbors have had to do a lot of shoreline cleanup this year.
This is probably the 20th time this season since April's high water that we started cleaning the lawns.
It's the same story for the residents of Sawyers Bay, thanks to the high water levels, but they say the cleanup this time around was a little different.
And this was the worst one that we've had this year. The water's gone down about a foot, but it doesn't do any good when the wind's that strong.
Thanks to helping hands, this cleanup is only a one-day job.
Everyone at 7 News is proud to call the North Country home.
And we know how important it is to be connected to our community. Let's check in with Mel Bussler.
You know, when I'm not too busy running around the North Country covering sports, I like to volunteer as much time as I can for different organizations. My wife Rose and I are co-chairs for the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life, and I'm proud to work with the Disabled Persons Action Organization. Once a year, I play the part of an old newsboy selling newspapers for the Salvation Army. And in the morning, I like delivering food to people in my neighborhood as part of Meals on Wheels. Hey, I'm not alone. WWNY employees volunteer for more than 50 nonprofits in our area.
So I've worked for years with Habitat for Humanity, most recently on the Brayman's Block project, where the group is building homes on the land that used to be where my family's wood mill used to be in Carthage.
I enjoy living in Lewis County and volunteering in Lewis County at the Hospital Auxiliary, Historical Society, and the Friends of Otter Creek Horse Trails.
I'm a proud board member with the Friends of the Roswell P. Flower Memorial Library. Our not-for-profit group supports the library through book sales and other fundraisers.
7 News is sponsoring a company of troops. They're actually from Fort Drum and they're deployed in Afghanistan right now. Sometimes you don't realize that even if these guys are deployed to a big base, they don't necessarily have all the basic supplies like toiletries, and sometimes they don't even have running water when they go to rural areas.
And the TV station itself sponsors dozens of events throughout the year. And by the way, we're just a small group of the thousands of people that volunteer each and every day throughout the North Country. That's why we're proud to be connected to our community.
And still ahead, a Massena girl's dream to cheer comes true.
This is Heart of the North Country.
We end our special program with a heartwarming story from Massena,
where one girl's wish to cheer came true. Here's Amanda Corna.
It's a Tuesday night. The Massena Red Raiders are taking on the Malone Huskies on their home court. A crowd of students and parents are there to watch the game, and off to the sideline is the high school's cheer squad. Standing proud in the second row is 20-year-old Kesley Miller, the squad's newest member.
I love being a cheerleader.
Kesley was born with Down syndrome, but it didn't stop her from wanting to live her dream. Her mother says being a cheerleader is something she's wanted since she was a little girl.
She saw the competitions I'd watch on TV, and so she'd jump around the room and cheer and stuff.
One day during class, Kesley told her teacher, Roxanne Howard, that her dream was to be a cheerleader. When Howard heard that, she took matters into her own hands.
I communicated with her mom and dad and with the coach and the athletic director to make sure that it was a possibility, and they were all very happy and excited to have her.
Kesley joined the squad this past December. Sandra Broll is the cheer squad's coach. She says even though she was excited to have Kesley join, she had to do a few things differently. She had never coached someone with a disability before.
We did a lot of one-on-one. Everybody on the squad pretty much took turns. I either put one-on-one or two-on-one with her, and we put her slightly away so she could concentrate with a smaller crowd so that she didn't feel overwhelmed.
In just the few months that Kesley's been on the squad, she's learned a lot. She does most of the cheers at the school's home basketball games, does cartwheels in between quarters, and even gets lifted by the other cheerleaders in a thigh stand.
I feel lifted like a airplane. Yeah.
And even though Kesley gets to do some cheers and wave some pom-poms, there's so much more that cheerleading has given her.
When she's on the court, she's like any one of the other girls, and she's not being picked out or separated.
This has really made her feel like anything is possible, that she can, she works hard at it, she can do this, she can be a cheerleader.
Just do it, and just follow my dream. I hold cartwheel.
And Kesley isn't the only one who's won. Her fellow cheerleaders say they're better for having her there.
I love it. If we aren't getting things right at practice, she's there to clap us on, cheer us on, get right back up there and try it again.
I felt like it would bring us all together and make everybody happy, and we all love her to pieces.
Kesley has 1 year of high school left. She says she plans on spending it cheering with her squad.
It has been another year of amazing stories, and we are happy to tell them. It's been fun to look back.
Thanks for watching Heart of the North Country. From all of us here at 7 News, happy holidays.
Sponsored locally in part by Hemlock Haven and East Road Adult Home.